Okay, look at 3. Okay, this whole page still is simplifying. So, is there any zeros? Is there any negatives?
Yeah.
Yeah, so draw your fraction bar. Where does the 4 go? Top. P to the negative 1. Bottom. And it becomes a positive 1. And that's it. We're done. Okay, 5, same thing, is simplifying. So, is there any zeros? Yeah, what is a 0? It's a 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay, so, and then we said, well, do we have any negatives? Yeah, so we draw our bar. Where does the x to the negative 2 go?
On the bottom.
On the bottom, and it becomes a positive 2. Where's the 1 go? Top. I try to do it kind of short, because I know you guys will be tired today. Okay, the next 6, okay, are all going to be product rule. So how can we tell something's product rule?
Multiplication? That's multiplication?
Not
multiplication, isn't it? I don't know.
How can we tell? So you guys need to be able to tell what type of problem this is to know what rule to use. So how can you tell that it's a product rule? Because the problems look different. Look at 13. What is different between 13 and 7?
One got parentheses and one don't.
What does the other one have that don't?
One got multiplication.
Yeah, it looks like a multiplication symbol, okay? It's got the dot. See the dot? That means that this is product rule. So if it has the dot, this is the rule that you need to use. If it has parentheses, this is the rule that you need to use. Okay, so it has the dot, and so it says add the exponents. Okay, and so you can put a 1 right here. And so we just add the exponents together. So you got 2 to the 1 plus 3. Okay, what is 1 plus 3? 4. So you're going to have 2 to the 4th. Do we have any negatives?
No.
Do we have any zeros? No. So we're done. And this is where it kind of gets a little bit confusing for some of you guys. So see how this only has numbers? So we leave it as 2 to the 4th. The next one has numbers and letters, so we have to not leave it, okay? So number 9 is the same thing. So we're going to multiply the bigs, add the littles. Okay, so we say 4 times 4, r to the, and we're going to add the r's together. So what am I going to write?
-2 plus 3.
-2 plus 3. Okay, because we have the r's. So what is 4 times 4? 16 r. -2 plus 3. 1. Mr. Kemp, we're working on assignment 15. It's on Canvas.
All right.
Okay, and so we can leave it just like that. Okay, look at 11. Same thing, we multiply the bigs, add the littles. What are the bigs?
4.
4 is the only big.
1 times 4.
Yeah, or you could put a 1 here. Okay, so you can say 1 times 4, and we add up the littles. So what's our first little y?
3.
3 plus 1. There's a 1 right there. Okay, what is 1 times 4?
4.
4. Y. 3 plus 1. 4. Is there any zeros? Is there any negatives? No, so we're done. Okay, look at the next one. What type of problem is this?
Parentheses.
It's parentheses, so what rule are we going to use?
Power.
The power rule, and so what do we do with the exponents?
Multiply them.
we gotta multiply the exponents. See, it has parentheses, and this one has parentheses, so that means that we multiply the exponents. Okay, so we got 3 to the 2 times 2. Okay, we multiply the exponents together. So it's gonna be 3 to the 4. Do we have any negatives?
No.
Zeros?
No.
No, so we're done. Okay, because this has numbers and letters, we don't need to simplify it, but some of these you're gonna have to. Okay, so, and some of you guys did not do it the other day. So even if you're working ahead, make sure you check, because otherwise I'm gonna mark all yours wrong. Okay, 15. Okay, we multiply the little ones together, so you're gonna have r to the negative 3 times 2. So you're gonna have r to the negative 6. Do we have any zeros?
No, but we got
Negatives. Okay, where do negatives go?
bottom.
The bottom. So you're gonna have r to the 6th and a 1. Okay, 17.
2, and it's gonna be 1 times 3.
Okay, so there are 2 ways to do this, okay? This is probably the method that I would prefer you guys to use, just because I think some of you guys are not remembering what's going on. There's really a 2 to the 1 power right here. There's a little 1 right there. Okay, it's still a power rule, so we need to multiply the exponents. Okay, so you're gonna go to each one, so it's gonna be 2 to the 1 times 3. X to the 4 times 3. Okay, so what is 1 times 3? 3. X to the 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, do we have any zeros?
No.
Do we have any negatives? But we are not finished because this has numbers and letters. So somewhere on here you need to write a note or something. You have to finish. What is 2 to the 3rd power? So it's going to be 8 for this part, well, for these parts together. And you're going to have x to the 12th. And so now we're done. Okay, so let's look at the next one. The same thing. Right after the 2, there's a little bitty baby 1. Okay, and so when we do this, we gotta put this to each little baby number. Okay, so it's gonna be 2 to the 1 times 4, a to the what?
A to the negative 2 times 4.
Negative 2 times 4, b to the what, Jay?
0.
0 times 4. Okay, and so now we can start to simplify. Okay, you know you're gonna have a 2, a, and a b. Okay, so just figure out what the stuff is. So what is 1 times 4? 4. Negative 2 times 4.
Negative 8.
Negative 8.
0.
0 times 4. 0. Okay, do we have any negatives?
Yes.
Do we have any zeros?
Yes.
Yeah, so we need to do some simplifying, okay? So what happens to a 0? What is it?
1.
It's a 1 or
Cross it out.
you could cross it out. Okay, either way it's gonna end up being the same. So, and in this case it's gonna be easier to cross it out. Okay? Now we can draw our little bar. Where does 2 to the 4th power go?
At the top.
Top. A to the negative 8.
Bottom.
Bottom. And it becomes a positive. Okay, and we have one more step. We need to figure out what is 2 to the 4th power because there's numbers and letters.
16.
So 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. Okay, the last section on here, what type is this? What type of problems are these?
Division.
How can you tell that it's division?
Because they have fractional.
Yeah, it's got the bar, that means it's a division, and we subtract the exponents, and we say top minus bottom. Okay, so, we keep our same big, and we take the top one, which is, what's on top? -3 minus, what's the bottom? 3. So -3 minus 3 is going to be -6. So you're going to have 2 to the -6. Okay, where do negatives go? On the bottom. Okay, so you can draw your little bar, and the 2 to the +6, and a 1's going to go on top. Okay, 23. Because it has numbers and letters, you draw your bar and you fill in the bigs. Okay, so we leave our bigs where they're at. Okay, but we do the same thing with the letters that we did earlier. So you're going to have V to the, what's on top?
0 times 0 minus 2.
0 minus 2. Okay, and you're going to have 3 and a 4. What is 0 minus 2?
0.
-2. Okay, and then where do negatives go? Bottom. So we're going to have 3 to the 4, and V to the 2 goes on bottom. Okay. Yeah, it's the last one. Okay, draw your bar. Fill in your big ones. So you got 2 and 2. Now be careful. Okay, so we're gonna have X. What's on top?
4 minus 0.
So, there is a 1 on top. You're totally right about that. There is a 1. But we're looking at the X's. And so what X is on top? It's not a 1, really. Here's our X, and the 4's with it. So it's going to be 4 minus, what is the X on the bottom? What's the X value on the bottom? 0. Okay, so we have to look and find the X and see what's the number with it. And it's going to be 0. So we're going to have Y to the, what's on top for the Y's? 1 minus 2. Perfect. Okay. So we can draw our bar again. And we're going to have 2 and 2. 4 minus 0 is 4. Y, you're going to have 1 minus 2, which is -1. Okay, where do negatives go?
Bottom.
The bottom. And so most everything's going to stay the same. We got 2 and 2. The X to the 4th, does it need moved? No. Y to the -1.
Bottom.
Needs to go on the bottom. Okay, I want you to go through the entire sheet and do all the ones that you know how to do. The ones you don't know how to do, then I will help you with those ones. Okay?
This one for one is like,
What did I just say?
one is 4 minus 2. Do we change to plus instead?
No, it's going to say 4 minus.
-2?
Mm-hmm.